You are listening to Radio Maria Canada. We now present the Health Hub, hosted by Cathy Biase.
Welcome to the Health Hub on Radio Maria Canada, exploring cutting-edge health and wellness information and therapies, helping you to take your health to the next level. I am your host, Cathy Biase, and I am an holistic nutritionist and a professional cancer coach. Today's show is about exploring the health benefits of red light therapy. And far from being a fad in the wellness space, red light therapy is backed by solid scientific reviews and is being recommended by a variety of practitioners to address a myriad of health issues. Light is essential for our health, and red light therapy treatments serve to supercharge our cells with natural light that they need to make more energy. And to take us on a deep dive of red light therapy is our guest today, Cam Stajer. Cam is an ex-semi-professional hockey player who has made a career switch to the health and wellness industry. After 20 years of playing hockey, Cam has found a new passion in biohacking and red light therapy. He has co-founded Cala Therapy, a company devoted to helping people achieve optimal health and wellness through natural, non-invasive treatments. Cam is passionate about empowering others to take control of their health and make educated decisions about their own well-being. It's a really interesting therapy. It's a non-invasive. The contraindications are few, if any, and it really can be a good piece to fit into your whole wellness practice. We talk about what light therapy actually is. We talk about the science backing the efficacy of red light treatment, and we talk about the major health benefits that are being seen by using the treatment. Great conversation today with Cam. Please do stay tuned with us. We'll be back in just a few minutes to start our show.
You are listening to Radio Maria Canada. We now continue with the program, The Health Hub, hosted by Cathy Biase.
Welcome back, everybody. Today's show has been recorded, so no opportunity for calling in. Please do follow us on our social sites. We are on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and we are at The Health Hub, RMC, on all of those locations. Cam, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Cathy. It's a pleasure to be here. Looking forward to this interview.
Yeah, me too, because I think when we talk, we're just talking about off air here, all the different types of light and infrared and far infrared and near. And I think, as soon as something becomes a little bit more mainstream, it can be confusing. So I think this is going to be really a very interesting interview for people to kind of understand and differentiate different things, but also to truly understand the importance and the effectiveness of red light therapy in everyday life, in, acute cases and so on from there. Were you always in red light therapy? I don't think that, this is something that people are born into. What were you doing before this?
That's a great question. So yeah, I'll give an intro about myself. So my name is Cam Stajer. I'm an ex-professional hockey player. I made a career switch to the health and wellness industry. After 20 years of playing hockey, I found a new passion in biohacking and red light therapy. My partner and I landed and founded Cala, a company devoted to helping people achieve optimal health and wellness through natural, non-invasive treatments. So yeah, in terms of kind of how we started, it's a funny story. So we were actually driving, listening to one of our favorite podcasts, which is Ben Greenfield's. And we first heard about red light therapy, and we were really intrigued because it had all these amazing benefits. We'll get into it later on. And to my surprise, it was very expensive. So it was anywhere from $1,000 for a small held unit. And we kind of wanted to find a way to make it more affordable. So that's kind of how we started Cala, and the rest is kind of history. So that's a very kind of simple kind of intro to Cala therapy.
And born and bred Canadian, a Canadian company. So even, more stars to put beside your name?
That's correct. Yeah, we're fully Canadian. We're Canadian produced, and all of our staff are in Canada. So I'm very proud to be a Canadian company.
Are you still playing hockey?
Just, to get the cardio in on during the week, but no longer professionally anymore. It's more for fun. So great way to get on the ice and obviously get some cardio in as well.
So you didn't use red light therapy in any of your treatments or repairing after exercise? It wasn't in your mindset at that point?
Yeah, funny enough, the co-founder Landon was actually also a high-level hockey player. And he had a trainer who used a red light device on him ages ago. This is probably 7 years ago. So he used it actually for a torn ACL. So he had it, used it and was very familiar with the product. But now it's every gym and a lot of trainers using it as a means of for therapy. So but it's still very very new to red light therapy as well.
Well, I think, maybe everyone's first, shouldn't say everyone, but a lot of people's first introduction into red light therapy were the face masks and the skin benefits of red light therapy. But before we get into that, I think it's a good idea to sort of set the stage and maybe give us an understanding of, what red light therapy is. Is red light part of the spectrum? Is it something that it's an artificial light? What exactly is it?
Yeah, it's a really good question. So essentially, red light therapy is a type of photobiomodulation that uses red and near infrared, so red and NIR light to stimulate the body's natural healing processes. So it's to treat a variety of conditions from skin problems to chronic pain. It's shown to reduce inflammation, promote tissue regeneration. But essentially, it's two wavelengths of the sun. So it's the red infrared wavelength, which are most effective for health. So it's really just those two wavelengths that we got from the sun and are kind of packed into our Cala devices.
So near infrared, far infrared, red light, is this the differentiation is just in the wavelength? Is that, basically what we're talking about?
That's correct. So it's a 660 and 850 nanometer wavelength of the red and near infrared. So obviously they kind of change up depending on wavelength of the actual light. So we focus on 660 and 850 nanometers.
And are they both visible to the human eye?
Good question. So red light is visible to the human eye, and infrared is not visible. So in our devices, we get a lot of questions from customers saying, "Hey guys, half my lights aren't working. What's going on here?" And it's funny enough that the infrared, you can't see it, but it's amazing for below the skin tissue. So red light, that's why the masks of red light often are red light therapy in blue and kind of orange light. Because it's great for the skin, whereas if you have a client who needs muscle and joint pain or any kind of below the skin treatment, infrared is there as well. So it's a great kind of combo of the red and infrared wavelength hybrid together.
And is it a pulsing of the light? Like when you turn on your machine, is it a pulsing or is it a stream of light that you just sit in front of?
Yeah, so it's actually just a normal stream of light of 660 nanometers, 850 nanometers for the devices. That being said, pulse mode is an option that we actually design at Cala and we provide to our athletes. For example, we have the Toronto Maple Leafs on board, and they have a lot of athletes that use the pulse setting for recovery. So essentially what it is, it's a pulsing light, which helps the body kind of digest the lights a little bit quicker. So it's great for athletes who are looking to recover from any injuries or post-workout. So also a great tool for athletes as well.
That's interesting. So on all of your devices, is this part of the package, or is this a particular device that is geared for sort of a higher echelon of client?
For sure. So we have a few SKUs. All of our panels actually have the pulse mode setting. Our Cala Mini is quite small, so it's more for portable. A lot of our players use it for if they're on the bus or people who want to travel and bring it with them. So the Mini doesn't have the pulse setting or any custom frequency settings, but all of our panels will include that as a bigger device and kind of pack with more utility.
Well, that's very good. I have an older device and it doesn't have that setting before I was introduced to your company. That being said, my son has eczema and I bought one of the handheld ones and he's finding great benefit from using it. So just a little tap on your shoulder for that because it's really working out nicely for him. Now, getting back to the yeah, it is amazing because, he's tried everything and you don't want to stay on the cortisone creams and everything. And he's really finding that the therapy is working. Is it a cumulative therapy or can it be an acute, like, okay, something's bothering me. I'm just going to use the red light?
Yeah. So I mean, there's no really damages of using infrared light with the red light. It's a non-invasive therapy, right? So you're not going to really see any bad results from using one wavelength or the other. However, if you have, let's say, a skin problem or say eczema, you can use the infrared also with the red light, and you'll see also great results. So you don't have to really just do one of the wavelengths, but some clients want to turn the red light off when they're doing, muscle and joint pain. So it really depends on what you're like and kind of if you're sensitive to more red light or whatever your kind of situation is. But generally, we just tell our clients keep on both wavelengths, and it's great for all kind of health and wellness procedures.
Oh, so you're able to shut off one or the other. It's not a combination of the two.
That's correct. So on our panels, our Pro, Cala, our Elite, and our Duo and Quad panels, all those panels have an actual setting where you can actually customize from red light or infrared, both or the custom frequencies. So it's really kind of a interesting plug and play product, which is pretty exciting.
It is interesting. Is there science behind all of the benefits of red light therapy, or what has been the most studied and seen benefits of red light therapy?
For sure. So there are numerous clinical studies on red light therapy that really demonstrate the efficiency in treating a variety of health conditions. There are mountain of data. So over 1,000 clinical studies on red light therapy, including randomized controlled trials and observational studies. But in terms of the benefit, we've seen a lot of clinical studies on skin health. That's very popular. It's probably our number one benefit is probably skin health. So with eczema and any wrinkles or any anti-aging procedures, there's a lot of studies on that. But it really depends what you're looking for. We have a lot of, eczema and muscle and joint studies that we've actually seen through Mayo Clinic. So everything's online. You can pretty much search any benefit up, whether it's skin health, muscle and joint pain, whether it's hair growth, you can find a pretty good study on that online. So we're lucky to have a lot of great, doctors doing research, and it's a pretty exciting area for sure.
Have you seen any red light therapies being used clinically in hospitals or in doctors as prescribed as part of a recovery plan or a treatment plan?
Really good question. So we have a lot of doctors who work with us on an ongoing basis with devices. So we have a lot of clients who have injuries and they're using red light therapy with their clients in terms of a faster recovery process. So if you broken legs, if you have the tennis elbow, we've seen a lot of that. We can't speak too much on too detailed because we want to obviously ask your doctor if you have any specific areas you want to treat. But pretty much it's generally a lot of doctors walk-in clinics that want to use it for any injuries on the below the tissue. We've seen a lot of that.
Well, it's all going. It must be some common mechanism of action that the red light therapy is hitting on. Or am I correct or incorrect? What is making the red light therapy work? Is it a mitochondrial issue? Is it what is making this work so well?
Yeah, the best way to do this simply is to go back to the grade 5 science class. So mitochondria is the powerhouse of our cells, right? So what red light infrared helps do is to help optimize our cells by bringing red light into our cells, right? So it really optimizes the efficiency of our cells and kind of gives it energy and food. So it's very sciencey if you look at the actual data of red light therapy on a lot of clients and a lot of studies, but essentially it helps mitochondria function better, which helps your body work better and be more optimal in the day.
See, that in and of itself is very exciting to understand that it encourage. Now, does it encourage regeneration of mitochondria cells, or just making what we have work better?
Yeah, so essentially that's a whole other topic, but it definitely helps optimize the current cells, mitochondria cells, but it can also, there's some data to show the mitochondria actually being regenerated as well. But that's still a newer kind of study, but optimizing your cells is probably the best way to kind of talk about therapy, mitochondrial function for sure.
Because that just opens up. I mean, I know we have to go by the science, and you can only state what the science shows. But if you're forward thinking with all of this, and we just come down to this, the basics that it's improving mitochondrial function, there really is an opening for it to be helping disease, inflammation as a whole. And if we can bring down inflammation as a whole, that takes it up to a whole other echelon of helping. And I know you can't speak to that because the science isn't there yet. But do you find, as someone who is creating this and working with this, and maybe clients you've seen, do you find that this is a really exciting space for red light therapy?
I think it's incredibly exciting. Just the fact that the primary function of red light therapy is to increase energy production is so important nowadays, because obviously, with different, everyone feels tired in wintertime, especially in Canada. So if you can strengthen, the mitochondria, the part of the cell that creates energy, you're going to have increased energy levels. You're going to feel better. You're in the body, right? So we're really just at the peak of the iceberg with the data and the amazing benefits of this science, right? So it's extremely exciting for us.
You talked about, going through the winter, and, a lot of people suffer from seasonal affective disorder. Is red light therapy the right therapy for that, or is it the blue light therapy?
Yeah, so that's a really good question. So we actually have a lot of customers reaching out about that. So Cala does sell a SAD lamp as well, which is a 10,000 LUX, which is a special wavelength of light. Essentially what that does is that it's 90% similar to sunlight. So it's great to have if you're working by your desk. It's like a ring light, so it's broad. It's a broad filtered light. That's an amazing wavelength, 10,000 LUX for seizure suppression. That being said, red light therapy is also an amazing tool for seizure suppression as well. So it really depends on what you're looking for. The SAD lamp can be used pretty much all day at your desk, whereas red light therapy is more for a 10, 15-minute treatment. So if you want to have best benefit of seizure suppression, we probably recommend the SAD lamp we carry. Just it's more kind of for that. You can have it all day, but there's also a lot of data on red light therapy for seizure suppression as well. So either or is a great purchase, but I'd probably gear towards the SAD lamp for that.
And there's a lot of research behind that as well, correct? For seasonal affective disorder, that type of wavelength, there's a lot of research behind it. That's
correct. Yeah, definitely.
You touched on something that I wanted to ask you. Can you sit in front of, you said 10 to 15 minutes for a therapy of red light therapy. Is that per day? Is that per sitting? Do you suggest only once a day, once a week? What is the ideal?
Yeah, so that's kind of called the Goldilocks rule. So people think, if I sit in red light therapy all day, I'm gonna get super jacked. I'm gonna lose a bunch of weight. I'm gonna have amazing libido. But it doesn't work that way. So how it works is it's 10 to 15 minutes per session is the best kind of treatment guideline for red light therapy. You want to be around 6 inches away to 12 inches away from the light. So if you have a calamity, for example, and you want to treat your tennis elbow, you have the light here, you turn it on, you're this far away for 10 minutes. If you go overboard, there's not tons of really negative side effects other than feeling tired. If you're in Mexico, for example, and you're in the sun for 6 hours, you're probably gonna feel a little bit tired. It's very similar to red light therapy, right? So 10 minutes a day, every day is great, around 6 inches away. And that's pretty much for all benefits, all treatment guidelines for all benefits. So it's quite simple, and it's very effective treatment for pretty much all benefits as well.
Is there a particular time of day that you recommend using the red light therapy for circadian rhythm, for health, or is it whenever you can sit in front of that baby?
Yeah, so it's kind of hard for everyone to have a really good routine with red light therapy, because everyone has different lives, and it's crazy. We all know how our lives can change and such. But personally, I see the best results when I do it first thing in the morning, especially when I'm in Toronto on the dark days, because I want to get that red light into me as soon as possible to have energy for the day. So I have, a Cal Elite Duo set up in front of my room, and I sit in front of it fully naked. It's for best benefits, for your skin to really soak up that light, and that will give me some great energy for the day. You can do it throughout whenever you want, but I'd recommend not doing it within an hour before sleep because it actually may stimulate your cells, which can help, which won't help with sleep. But if you do it an hour before bed, it's also great for your sleep as well. So it's really up to you. It's whatever your routine is looking for and what benefit you're looking to get in the day as well.
Wonderful. Okay, we're going to take a quick break here, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes to continue our interview with Cam.
You are listening to The Health Hub here on Radio Maria Canada, a Catholic voice wherever you are. To contact us and be a part of the show, email thh@radiomaria.ca. We now continue with the program. Here once again is your host, Cathy Biase.
Welcome back, everybody. We're talking with Cam Stajer. He's from Cala Red Light Therapy. Let's talk about the Dragon's Den. This is something that I think is just too exciting not to. You're a young guy, you get on the Dragon's Den. This must have catapulted you when it comes to companies in this industry. How did you get on the show? And, are you still getting the side effects of being so successful on it?
For sure. So, Dragon's Den was a great experience for Cala Therapy. Really helped the business grow. And for those who don't know, Dragon's Den is a CBC, TV segment that basically, entrepreneurs go on and do a 3-minute pitch with a business to a couple, multimillionaires who are willing to invest their own cash to your idea. So, we essentially applied just with a couple of videos of Landon and myself sent to Dragons. We had 3 interviews, and luckily we had some pretty exciting pitches, and we were being pretty fun and entertaining during the pitches. And then we ended up going on Dragon's Den, I think it was in May. And it was very nerve-wracking, of course. Landon and I, we had our script ready to go, and we had everything ready. And pitch day came, and it was a lot of fun. There was producers and a lot of work went into each company's pitch. And it was very surreal, pitching 5 of these amazing, serial entrepreneurs. And it was nerve-wracking, but it was a great lesson for our business. And we actually doubled our business in the first month after it went live. So very grateful for the opportunity, and definitely recommend anyone to tune in and watch our segment, or if you're an entrepreneur yourself, to definitely apply online. And it's a great way to grow your business, and it's a lot of fun as well. So definitely recommend.
It must have been extremely stressful. I can't even imagine. And you were successful, and not everyone's successful on the show, right?
We were. So we actually did get an offer from Guzzo, which is one of the French investors, and he offered us a good offer, and so it was exciting, and it's definitely a little bit stressful, but no pressure, no diamonds, right?
Well, right. And you put yourself out there, man, and I've watched the show, and it can be brutal if they don't like what you're throwing at them. So, good for you. I'm sure you watched a lot of shows before you went on there. So I watched your clip, and it was great. It was really good. So I can see why they went with you, not only the product, but the two of you are awesome too. So, a company isn't just the product, it's the people that are behind it. So big kudos on that front.
What I would say too is you have one chance too, right? So if we had a blackout, while pitching the product, then that's going live, and everyone's seeing our, Cam blacking out on the stage. So you get one chance to do it, and thankfully our health was good, and we didn't have any issues with our health or blacking out. So lots of fun, and definitely recommend, guys.
Excellent. Well, okay, so then following in those footsteps, what makes Cala Therapy products different from other therapy products in the same space, the red light therapy space?
Yeah, so I started by saying we started Cala by taking every competitor in the space device. We shipped them to our little office at the time that we first started, and we basically took all the guts out, and we made a Cala device that had everything that the competitors, the best they had, the worst they had. We took it out, and we created a device that was really just the best device in the market. So if you're looking for a red light therapy device, I'd recommend looking at a few things. Number one is irradiance. That is the power of the wavelengths you're getting from the red and infrared light from the device. So look at the radiance. We have very high radiance in our devices. We use 5-watt bulbs. A lot of companies use 3-watt bulbs, or they use like Asian LEDs that aren't really that effective. They may look the same, but it's quite different, the quality of the devices. Make sure it's EMF free. So we have a 0.0 EMF rating. We're certified by FDA approved, IEC. We have all the certifications that's are really great for any health device. And then get a company that has good customer support as well, because sometimes you get advice and you're not happy with it, or something happens, you have questions. Our team is basically 24/7 online, always helping customers out, always open to calling. I call customers all the time to make sure they're happy with the device if they have any questions. So those kind of key points I look for in definitely purchasing a red light therapy device.
Okay. One thing I had noted down here that I wanted to ask you, and I think it's very important. Are there any contraindications for using red light therapy?
Yeah. So in terms of contraindications, what exactly are you referring to with red light therapy?
So with red light therapy, one of the main thing that people know about is for the health of the skin. So after surgery, can you use this for scarring right away? Is there a downtime that you need to, is it 6 weeks after surgery? Are there any illnesses that you would say, offhand, don't use it? Or is this safe in any regard?
Yeah, for sure. So that's a little more specific. So we haven't seen any issues with using the device, post-op or any procedure. It's really non-invasive, so it's not gonna go under your skin or create any lesions under skin. So no, it's very clean therapy, and we haven't had any really issues yet with that. But yeah, luckily we haven't seen any issues with that yet. But
okay.
Yeah, it's very, very safe.
Now, I wear goggles sometimes when I'm sitting in front of my red light, and I'm in my head, I'm thinking, well, do I need them because, it's supposed to be helpful for the skin, but I put them on because it kind of came with the device. What is your opinion on that?
It's a very, very common question we get with our customers. They're saying, how is this flashlight in my eye gonna help me out? It must be bad, damaging for my iris and my eyes, right? But the conclusion is that red light therapy treatments with both red and infrared light wavelengths, they aren't just safe for the eyes, but also a proven way to heal eye injuries, reduce inflammation, and protect against vision loss. We've had numerous studies that are peer-reviewed clinical studies online that show the effectiveness of actually helping your iris in your eye and actually help to anti-aging. So there's a Harvard article that we love online that talks about the anti-aging effects of red light and mitochondrial function as well. So it's great. It's great for your eyes. And if you have sensitive eyes, we'd recommend not looking directly in the light, but to kind of have it facing off so you get the wavelengths as well in your eyes without any damage if you're sensitive, of course.
Well, that makes a lot of sense to me. Now, you guys have a lot of different devices. You're getting into the sauna space. Can you tell us, which one, someone's going on your website, which one do they pick?
Yeah, so the saunas are a great device. It's a great product for looking to biohack and sweats a lot of toxins out of your body.
Is that with infrared light? What is making you sweat in the saunas?
Yeah, so the infrared light, basically there's two saunas, infrared light, and then there's also just a regular kind of stone sauna. We offer an indoor infrared sauna, which is great because it actually helps you sweat from the bone out. So you really have, we have customers who have like a white cloth, and they'll put it on their skin after a big sweat in our sauna, and they'll see like black from like the toxins in their bodies. So that's a really big benefit of infrared saunas. And then we have an outdoor sauna coming out in February as well, which is a outdoor stone sauna. It's made with the highest quality woods. There's no toxic glues, no EMF in that one. It's got amazing finish, stone heater as well. So overall, it's a great device. And if anyone's interested more about saunas, there's actually a podcast by Huberman on the effectiveness of saunas, and there's some data on it that's amazing about helping your health. I think it's something about like you can live twice as long or something crazy about saunas that we just heard about it, but definitely listen to Huberman if you look more about saunas, of course.
Perfect. Now for conditions, going to the more noted devices that I think people are more common or familiar with. Does everyone need the stand-up panel? What conditions are better for the handheld? Can you get into that?
For sure. So we'll start with the mini. So the mini is a great device because it's more of a targeted treatment. So if you have a tennis elbow, or if you have an ACL that's torn, or if you have a very small space in your body you want to have treated, we'd recommend going with the Cala Mini. It's great for travel as well. For customers who have a broader area of treatment, so say you have a back pain or you have lesion on your chest or just a broader area, you kind of want to have a device that covers the entire area. So we look at more the Pro or the Elites, and then the Elite Duo is our full body device. So that's a good question. If you have any questions, guys, you can always reach out to our team at cala@calarelate.com. But generally, you want a device that can cover the entire treatment area on your body.
When you go on your website, we see reviews, we see people saying, how wonderful the product is. Personally, do you have a customer or a couple of customers where even you're surprised at how great the benefits of the red light therapy is?
Yes, I love this question. This is really the reason why we started Cala. We wanted to really fill up people's health buckets up and kind of live a healthier and happier life. So what are more inspiring stories from customers? Actually from a customer that we've been dealing with for about a year now. And this one was suffering from eczema skin issues for a year. She was using steroids, which are commonly used for eczema. Steroids kind of help reduce inflammation, irritation, itching. In some cases, they are prescribed orally or on the skin. But there's very bad side effects that come with the steroid use, of course, with acne and skin issues and increased risk of infection, high blood sugar, and kind of etc. But this woman actually used one of our devices, and just after a couple of weeks, she was seeing a dramatic improvement in her skin. This is a woman who's been suffering from anxiety since she was a kid. So she was so thrilled that she actually wrote us a hand letter to our office, and it was incredibly touching to get a reminder of the power of light therapy and how can actually help so many clients out that are suffering for so many years. So that was really inspiring for Landon and I, for sure.
Have you had any success with psoriasis? So eczema is one that I know I come across all the time. Psoriasis. Have you ever had any clients with psoriasis that have had some relief from that condition?
Yeah, so psoriasis and eczema we kind of put them in the same category. So both those are incredible for results. We have a lot of clients who use it just for psoriasis and are seeing huge results. So definitely eczema and psoriasis are probably the second most common benefit after skin health of anti-aging for light therapy.
It seems like this is the piece of the puzzle that so many people could be missing. With some of these conditions, there just doesn't seem to be any relief. And I think, I'm not sure if I was on air or off air, I mentioned to you that I did get the mini for my son because he does suffer from eczema as well, and he's finding great benefit from it. Now, how long does it take for you to see benefits? So someone with an eczema condition, for instance, is it a cumulative effect? Is it, one treatment, the benefits are already seen?
Yeah, so it really depends on the customer's benefit looking for. We see benefits from the first day of use for energy levels. So if you have low energy in the wintertime and you're really suffering from seasonal depression, you'll see a great result from day one from light therapy. However, if you're looking for some serious muscle and joint pain help, or if you have some serious eczema, for example, typically we see results in the first 3 to 5 weeks, depending on the benefit and the seriousness of the issue. But within the first month or so, you should see amazing results from pretty well all benefits. So that's generally the timeline with benefits, for sure.
Post-recovery workout, is this something that you use it for?
I do use it for my. So, like I mentioned, we have a lot of NHL teams who use Cala lights in the dressing room after a game, between periods, or after practice. I use it personally after every workout. So I'll use my mini on the go for my gym bag. It's great for recovery and helping the cells really recover faster. So yeah, it's one of my kind of secret tools I use, and I really enjoy it. So I recommend anyone who's a big fitness person or even a walker. If you're a walker and you get sore after a walk, it's great to have that device at home ready to use. And you'll wake up the next morning, I can almost guarantee you'll be less sore than you would for the red light. So definitely worth a try.
So I never thought of putting a mini in my gym bag. Is that a battery operated one?
It is. So it's
okay.
So you can charge up just like a phone, charge up at night. Yeah. And it's actually great for bringing it on the plane too. So if you're traveling, you can just put it in your carry-on and the airport won't take it off you. So it is lithium battery, but they may ask you about, what's in it or whatever, but you can bring it with you in a carry-on. So it's great to travel with.
Interesting. Never thought of it there. See, hey, we learn everything with every interview. I learned so much. How long have you guys been in business?
Yeah, so we've been for around 3.5 years now. So we started with a small office in Toronto, and have really just grown quite tremendously over the past years. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun so far. We're looking forward to taking it to the next level.
Oh, so you're a COVID business.
We are a COVID business. So, that probably did help with the growth in a lot of ways because everyone was at home and looking, for that extra health bucket, fill up, right? So we are a COVID business and luckily, we had some success with that. But I know
silver linings, right, Cam? Silver linings with everything. That's wonderful.
That's right.
Where can people go to find out more information about your great products?
So all the listeners can go to Kala Red Light, which is KalaRedlight.com. You can shop all of our devices there. If you have any questions, we have a chat bot in the bottom right corner of the on the tablet, on the phone, or the desktop. Just click that little button there, and we have a live agent pretty well 24/7 to help you for any questions you may have. We're available pretty much 24/7. So always open to all your questions, guys.
Wonderful. Cam, thanks so much for joining us, and thanks for sharing your terrific product with us.
It's been a pleasure, Cathy. Thanks for your time today.
Everybody, we'll talk to you next week on The Health Hub.